welcome to another video. Today I am bringing you my February and March haul together. I had enough books to do a February book haul, I just never got around to filming one. And then in March I have not actually acquired as many, so works out nicely to smush them together. I received a fair few gifts from you guys in February, so thank you ever so much to those of you who sent me gifts from my Amazon wishlist. Really, you never have to do that, but it really brightens my day when you do, and I'm so appreciative and so grateful. So thank you to those of you, you know who you are, and as I go through this, everyone else will know who you are as well. But yeah, I'm going to break this down and do those gifts first, and then we'll go into the books that I purchased myself. So, without an excessively long introduction, let's just get on with my book haul. Firstly, when Gavin came to visit me in February for Polathon, which seems like an age ago now, but we went out to Waterstones and he got me A Sprinkle of Sorcery by Michelle Harrison. This was our March middle grade monthly pick, or this along with A Pinch of Magic by Michelle Harrison, as we are having Michelle Harrison on the live show. At the point of filming this, the live show is actually tomorrow. I don't know when I'm going to get this up though, so may have already happened, will probably have already happened. But yeah, this is the sequel to A Pinch of Magic, a middle grade about the Widdersham sisters who have a curse on them and adventure out to try and break this curse. And as a sequel, I won't tell you what this one is about so much, but yeah, so whimsical. I love it. I have read this. This edition has these beautiful sprayed edges as well. I adore these sisters. It's just so heartwarming and beautiful. So thank you, Gavin, for that one. Next up, I have a couple of gifts from Claire. So thank you so much, Claire. You are an angel amongst people. Like, honestly, you are a star. Claire got me Come Tumbling Down by Shauna Maguire. This is the fifth, I was right, fifth book in the Wayward Children series. I believe this one continues following Jack and Jill. I don't know if it's in their portal world or outside of the portal world. But the Wayward Children series follows children who have gone into portal worlds like Narnia, Wonderland, etc. and come back out and kind of have to rehabilitate into society. Some of the books take place in those portal worlds, some of them take place in the normal world, and there's a band of characters that they follow, and Jack and Jill have had a book already. It was Down Among the Sticks and Bones, which was in their portal world. I'm excited. These little novellas are super quick to get through and I really love the writing in them, so very excited to get to this one at some point and continue that series. I do really like them. And then also from Claire, she sent me The Mask of Arabella by Anna Horton. This is a middle grade about a young girl called Arabella who finds out that she has some sort of superpower where she can shoot flames from her fingers when she is angry. And she is terrified by this new ability, runs away and is rescued by a band of superheroes. Basically, and Arabella joins this band of superheroes. It sounds really cute. I think it's set in Venice. A group of superheroes are sworn to defend Venice. It seems really adorable. I'm very excited to read this. A middle grade superhero story about a young girl who discovers she can shoot flames from her fingers. I'm so there for that. So thank you very much to Claire for both of these. I then got a gift from Francesca, and honestly, Fran, you spoil me. You need to stop sending me gifts. I really appreciate it, but girl, treat yourself. But she sent me Ember Queen by Laura Sebastian. This is the third book in the Ash Princess trilogy, so it's Ash Princess, Lady Smoke, and then Ember Queen. I read Ash Princess, or didn't read Ash Princess. I started reading Ash Princess a really long time ago and then something cropped up and I put it down and didn't pick it up again, but I really enjoyed what I did read of it, so I'm going to start that one again pretty soon, and now I have the whole trilogy, so I can hopefully get through them. Not saying I will, because you know what I'm like, I never read a series like quickly, but at least now I have a lot of them and hopefully I will get to the final one at some point. So thank you ever so much, Fran, for this one. I then have a gift from Barbara. Thank you so much, Barbara, and that is The Sisters of the Winterwood. This I threw on my wish list because it had some sort of like Slavic mythology in there. I cannot remember why, and I cannot remember what this is about now, but I can see that it's set on the forest on the border of Moldova and the Ukraine, and I think there are like dark magics or something. The sisters discover a family secret about a magical heritage they never knew existed. The sisters realise that old fairy tales are true, and I think it's got some sort of Slavic mythology in those like old fairy tales. I haven't heard many things about this, and what I have heard hasn't necessarily been positive, but I'm looking forward to it just because those like fairy tale vibes, and especially the Slavic fairy tale vibes, just make me happy, so I think I will enjoy it when I read it, and hopefully this could potentially fill a Bear and the Nightingale shaped hole in my heart. So thank you very much, Barbara, for that one. I then got a couple of gifts from Bev at Confuzzled Bev. Thank you so much, Bev, you spoiled me. And one of those is Gingerbread by Robert Dinsdale. I had never heard of this, and this was not on my wish list, but I think it's some sort of polar fantasy-esque thing. In Belarus, a land of endless ancient forests, an orphaned boy must scatter his mother's ashes. His mama has exacted a solemn promise to stay beside and protect grandfather whatever happens. On their journey into the woodland, hunks of mama's delicious gingerbread sustain the young boy as grandfather's magical tales push the harsh world away. But the driving snow masks a frozen history of long-buried secrets, and as a man and child forage further, grandfather's tales turn to terrible truths of times past. Fairy tale and history interweave in this magical, haunting tale of the lengths a boy must go in order to survive. So again, we have those like fairy tale vibes in there, but fairy tales being true and like mythology being truth, etc. So thank you very much for that one. And then Bev also sent me The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is one I've wanted to get my hands on since Becca announced the Elderling along. I just could not fit it in soon enough to be like on track with their read along, but my interest is piqued. This is about the bastard son of the prince and 6 duchies being on the brink of war, yes, and that bastard son is in like a very unique political position and they want to train him to be an assassin that they can use, and he has some sort of affinity for animals. I don't know, sounds like it's gonna be a political fantasy that I'm gonna love. It gives me sort of Greatcoats vibes, mainly because of the duchies being on the brink of war thing, but it's Robin Hobb and she is a staple in adult fantasy, so I'm very excited to have this, and thank you very much, Bev. I then very recently received Red Sister from Tracy. Thank you so much, Tracy, for this. And her little note just says, "Congratulations on your promotion." Thank you, I got a promotion at work. Thank you. This is Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. This is actually the Read, Rate, Review pick for like now. The live show is, I believe, on the 4th of April. I have been listening to the audiobook of this, but I am not very far through it and I'm running out of time. So I'm hoping that now I have the physical version, I might actually be able to read it before the live show. Hopefully. So thank you very much, Tracy, for sending this one my way. Red Sister is about assassin nuns and a young girl who is potentially being put to death and then is taken away by the nunnery to train up to be an assassin. I'm not very far, I don't know. But yeah, hopefully now I have it physically I can actually get it read. And finally, the last gift, I suppose, of sorts is this little book of animal folktales of Britain and Ireland, which was sent to me by the publisher, which is The History Press. This is written by Sharon Jackstes and is a collection of British animal folktales. It's, for one, a beautiful book, so when they offered to send it my way, I was immediately like, it's gorgeous, yes. But also, British folktales. I don't think I actually know any. Maybe I do, and I just don't know that I do. But yeah, for someone who is British, I feel like I should read this. So thank you very much to the guys at History Press for sending this my way as well. This would make an absolutely gorgeous, like, coffee table book. And now getting into the books that I purchased for myself, most of these are middle grades. I got my hands on Wizards of Once by Cressida Cowell. This is our April middle grade monthly pick, so I had to get my hands on this. I don't know too much about this, and I kind of want to keep it that way, but I do know that it's a bit of a chunker, but it's got illustrations and such scattered throughout it, and I think it's gonna be really fun to read, so I am looking forward to this. I know Cressida Cowell is a widely popular author. She wrote the How to Train Your Dragon series, which everyone knows and loves, and this has been recommended so widely, so I'm really looking forward to reading this, and I hope I love it. And just to mention, I got this from a new independent bookstore that's opened up in my town, and I'm really looking forward to supporting them in future because the town didn't have one. We've got a Waterstones, but now we have a little indie bookstore. Very excited. And on the topic of that indie bookstore, I also got Potkin and Stubbs 3, Ghost Catcher from there as well, because Sophie Green had her launch party there for this book and invited me, so I went along, so I got this whilst I was there, and of course got it signed as well. Sophie Green is a darling. I am very excited to read this, also a bit scared because it's the end, and I love the series and these characters. This is a series about a young girl called Little Potkin who wants to be a big time reporter, and in the first book she finds the next big scoop and things get a little bit supernatural and ghostly. I really like this series. Next up is Ember and the Ice Dragons by Heather Fawcett. This is probably, out of all of these, the book I acquired first, so maybe should have started with that. But this is a polar fantasy written by Heather Fawcett, who wrote Even the Darkest Stars, which is one of the polar fantasies that I absolutely love. And this is a middle grade about a young girl who was a dragon and was forced into the body of a young girl, and I can't remember why. I haven't read this, but I'm pretty sure Ember is a dragon. Yes, Ember St. George is a dragon. At least she was before her adoptive father turned her into a human girl to save her life. As a dragon in a human girl's form, she has a tendency to burst into flames. So they sent her to be with the ice dragons, where that wouldn't be so much of a problem. I'm looking forward to reading this. I really like Heather Fawcett's writing. I loved the series, so looking forward to this. I think it's going to be adorable. Cannot wait to read it. Next up, I got Orion Lost by Alistair Chisholm. This is a sci-fi. Gavin read this recently and loved it and raved about it, so I wanted it. So I got it. I don't know anything else about what this is about. There was a ship in space lost, and then 13-year-old Beth and her friends have to navigate through uncharted territory to reach safety. Lost in space. Kids. Sounds like fun. And Gavin loved it, and I trust his opinion on middle grades, so looking forward to reading this one. The last middle grade I got my mitts on is The Extremely Inconvenient Adventures of Bronte Metalstone. I don't know anything about this other than the fact that the cover is illustrated by Carl James Mountford, and any book I've read where the cover has been illustrated by Carl James Mountford, I have loved. And that is the basis that I purchased this book on. It looks like fun. The cover is fantastic. It is a hardback as well. Oh, and it's white under the cover. Oh, that's pretty. I haven't actually taken the dust jacket off it until right now. I'm going to assume that Bronte Metalstone goes on some extremely inconvenient adventures. And there are dragons and mermaids and pixies, or are they fairies? I don't know. On the cover of this, and a pirate ship. Sounds like it's just going to be a wild adventure story, and I'm excited about that, so sign me up. Then we have the most recent book from Fairyloot, which is The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. I didn't unbox that because I got my hands on it so late, unfortunately, so I thought I would just throw this in here. But I'm pretty sure this is about a girl who wants to take control, so she woos the Shadow King and plots to kill him, but in order for her to kill him, she has to protect him from other people killing him. I don't know. I've heard good things about it from the people I know that have read it. They've enjoyed it, so yeah. And I read Daughter of the Pirate King and quite enjoyed that, which was by Trisha Levenseller, so hopefully I'll like this one as well. And then finally, last but not least, the book that came out in March that I forgot came out in March was Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J Maas. I forgot that this was coming out and I had not planned for it and was then thrown out by the fact that this came out in March. I have started reading this, I have not finished reading this. I'm going to carry it on into April just because it's such a hefty book. But, you know, Sarah J Maas's long-awaited adult debut. I don't really need to talk about this, do I? But I'm happy to have it, and it's the Waterstones edition with the sprayed edges. Yeah, I'm really not going to talk about that one. You don't need to hear someone else rave about it. Haven't even read it. I'm just excited by it. What I have read, I've loved. Gonna stop now. And there we go. That is everything. How many books was that? 16 books. So yeah, that brings us to the end of my February and March book haul. I think I'm now all up to date on hauling books. I can scan these into Goodreads and throw them on my shelf now. Hooray! Yeah, if you have read any of these and loved them, be sure to let me know down below. Of course, don't spoil anything though, because I haven't read any of them myself. But otherwise, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!